XRP. Yes, we're doing an XRP video. XRP has been one of the best performing major cap tokens in the past few months, going up 7x, basically 8x maybe now, after seeing minimal gains during the first 10 months of 2024 and really for the past few years. Thanks, Gary from the SEC. The token did explode in the last 2 months, though, with the new administration coming in, rising hundreds of percent. Now, that performance continued in early 2025 and it reached a new all-time high price of $3.40 on January 7th. Yeah, it's pulled back a little bit since then with the rest of the market more broadly, but XRP remains one of the few major cap tokens with a positive performance year to date, which says something, proving its resilience even amidst the volatility of the present cryptocurrency market. However, everyone's question is what to expect from XRP this year. And by the way, I don't hold XRP currently. I think what is going on here is some interesting catalysts, especially around the ETF and stuff. We'll get more on that in a minute. Now, many analysts believe the token will have a massive 2025 based on how it fared over the close of the last year. It's hard to argue against this, as there are several signs of a potential good year coming, assuming that we generally get a risk-on environment for crypto altcoins, I think we're going to get. There are so many game-changing catalysts that could drive the XRP price up to the stratosphere, or at least maybe to like, $9 or $10. It's probably enough. Anyway, this article explores some of those catalysts. Number one, potential regulatory clarity for XRP. XRP could finally get regulatory clarity this year. The token has been in legal limbo since 2020 when the SEC sued Ripple for selling unregistered securities. Well, now it appears that XRP is not a security, so you can't sell unregistered securities if it's not a security. 4 years, many court filings, hundreds of millions of dollars in legal fees. The status of XRP, well, looks like we finally have some kind of clarity on it. Well, the court has ruled that programmatic sales do not amount to being a security. The SEC is currently trying to appeal against that ruling. However, the new administration for Donald Trump, the Don's back, okay? He loves crypto, and the Ripple Foundation guys, Brad Garlickhouse and the other cat, they're getting pretty close to Donald, okay? Trying to get XRP inserted in the conversation, which is meaningful. The crypto industry nemesis, Gary Gensler, he's gone. We're getting pro-crypto people in the SEC, the OCC, the CFTC, all the places, okay? The crypto industry is about to open up in a major way. We might finally see a complete settlement of this case this year, or the SEC just completely dropping it with the new administration. When the new SEC head gets confirmed as chair, probably very, very soon, this will then clarify XRP's status and open up the digital asset to a floodgate of new opportunities, especially via the ETF. But before we break down the ETF situation, if you're a cryptocurrency trader, then I've got a super deal for you. For a very limited time, BitUnix, the best no KYC, no VPN, no VPS exchange in the cryptocurrency markets, is running a crazy bonus deal for you. So use the link down below. Here's what you're going to get. When you use that link, you'll get $10 for free just for signing up. Then you're going to get a 20% deposit bonus. Super cool. So you deposit $1,000, get $200 back, $2,400 back. Awesome. You'll also land a $1,000 trading bonus if you start doing some trading over there. So you can trade all the top coins, XRP, Solana, Bitcoin, hot new altcoins, all with deep liquidity. Get started today using the link down below because this offer is not going to last long. Go check it out. Number two, the spot XRP ETFs. Now, one of the biggest benefits here for increased regulatory clarity for XRP is that the token might finally get its ETF. So this will create real, powerful spot demand from Wall Street and boomer retail traders. Since Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs took the world by storm in 2024, all eyes are on which crypto assets could be next. Dogecoin, Litecoin, Solana, XRP. The four horsemen, as my buddy calls them. XRP is among the big contenders here. Okay, major asset issuers, including Grayscale, Bitwise, and 21 Shares, have all filed for XRP ETF applications. Notable absence here from BlackRock. Maybe we'll see them get on board later. Clarity on the status of XRP will be a big game changer in the ETF approval process, and this could bring in billions of dollars of spot buys, which will have an outsized effect on the price. Number three is the RLUSD stablecoin. Look, XRP could also benefit from the recently launched RLUSD stablecoin, the Ripple Labs stablecoin. Now, RLUSD, time of recording this video, has a supply of just around $53 million, so far below the top stablecoins such as Tether, USDC, stuff like that, okay? However, due to its regulatory compliance, Ripple's reputation, and its deep connections across the global banking industry, RLUSD does have the potential for a lot more growth and adoption once the US enacts its Stablecoin Act. In fact, RLUSD could find itself front and center in that situation. XRP's affiliation with RLUSD is very much a potential growth driver here for the token, especially considering that it's going to start creating a lot of burn for XRP. Now, even if it doesn't burn that much, the narrative of the burn can be enough to see prices moving. Number 4, institutional adoption of Ripple products. RLUSD and XRP are only two of the many products within the Ripple within the Ripple ecosystem. The fintech startup also has several other products, such as the Ripple Payments Network called RippleNet. You also have the decentralized blockchain XRP ledger, which is where the XRP token lives. You have on-demand liquidity, or ODL solution, which is called XRapid, and there's several other things as well. Now, not everything is going to actually drive value back to the XRP token, so you need to be aware of that. Some of this is just stuff that's going to benefit Ripple Labs. Okay. Now, some of these products have already been adopted by some pretty big banks and some pretty big payment providers globally. Most of that, of course, has been happening outside of the USA because America for the last 4 years has absolutely sucked for crypto, and it's been hard for anybody to do anything. But some big banks like Banco Santander have been adopting this technology. So something there. And now that we have more US clarity coming, we can see that happen as well. Overall adoption, particularly in the US, has been slow, of course, again, due to those regulatory concerns. But as we get more clarity, it could drive more adoption from more traditional finance institutions who now feel like, okay, the water's fine. Let's jump in. Let's start playing around with this XRP thing, playing around with RLUSD thing. Could boost a lot of demand. Number 5. Tokenization on the XRP ledger. See, even without regulatory clarity, Ripple is already trying to boost the XRP ledger's adoption by trying to focus some energy on embracing tokenization. I hope that Brad and what's the other guy's name? The other XRP co-founder. I hope these guys are out. Chris Larson, Brad and Chris. I hope that Brad and Chris are out there talking to Larry from BlackRock, because Larry wants to tokenize everything. A lot of people think that's going to happen on Ethereum, but it's not a guarantee. It hasn't happened yet. Tokenization is one of the biggest narratives in crypto. Imagine all the stocks, all the real estate, all the bonds, everything on chain, okay? It's one of the biggest narratives in crypto. Major traditional institutions have big expectations about the potential for tokenizing things on chain. Many estimate it could be worth as much as $30 trillion within the next decade. And imagine if the XRP ledger can capture some of that value, if not a big portion of that value. With this potential, Ripple is positioning the XRP ledger as one of the major settlement layers for tokenized assets. Will they be successful? I don't know. Time will tell, okay? But you can see what they're going for. The blockchain network already tokenized US treasuries and money market funds, which have recently launched on it, promising, of course, increased network activity, more XRP token burn, right? Number 6 is the XRP digital asset to be in the digital asset stockpile of America. Now, that's a much more wild card, but what if XRP becomes part of the US digital asset stockpile as being probably made up of US coins? Bitcoin, XRP, some others. Trump has ordered the creation of a digital asset stockpile and recently signed an executive order establishing a sovereign wealth fund. It's not yet clear if the sovereign wealth fund will hold crypto altcoins or not. This is a different strategic Bitcoin reserve, by the way. Given earlier speculation, the president wants to have made in USA crypto assets as part of the stockpile. XRP might make the cut. Ripple executives definitely support the idea, so of course they'll be pushing for that to happen. Plus, there's also a proposal to have US cryptos be free from capital gains tax. Should be a major bit of wind in the sails for XRP. Number 7, retail FOMO could farther drive XRP to new heights this year, as it usually does. XRP has a strong community that has fueled its growth till now. It's a very famous coin. Most people, it's got a brand name in normie land. If institutions get involved, you can expect a wider retail wave, especially as prices go up. Crypto is a sentiment-driven market, and if we've learned anything by now, it's that when XRP gains momentum, it moves really, really fast. Look, XRP has a lot of potential for a massive rally this year. Several catalysts could send the token price to new highs in 2025. However, nothing is set in stone, given, of course, the volatile nature of the cryptocurrency industry and how the market can somehow disappoint investors all the time, seemingly. Multiple factors could lead to XRP underperforming in that situation, including XRP facing adoption challenges due to the fierce competition from other blockchains like Solana or Sui and Aptos and the stablecoins running across those networks, macroeconomic factors such as fears of tariffs, even the SEC choosing not to settle the case, all this kind of stuff, which the SEC is going to settle the damn case. But anyway, all this kind of stuff could not see this happen. Well, these are all possibilities. The probability of XRP seeing massive growth probably is the more favorable bet, assuming that broader market conditions hold up. Now, all the ingredients are there, things that were lacking last cycle and didn't see XRP hit a new all-time high, right? The clarity, the adoption, the ETFs, et cetera, et cetera. So it could be more of a question of when rather than if all this will happen. Again, assuming that we don't have a complete meltdown of the macro scene. Thanks for watching.